I'm going to do a cooking demonstration today, a very simple one on a dish that I actually do a lot for weddings and different things. This is actually for my friend, but I might as well share it. I am doing a caramelized onion and spinach stuffed chicken. It has some Italian cheeses in it, lots of garlic, lots of caramelized onions and spinach, and we finish it with a Parmesan cream sauce. Some of the ingredients we use: a whole chicken breast. You may want to use one chicken breast per person. I use red onion, fresh minced garlic, spinach, and then a Italian cheese blend. I usually grate my own fresh cheeses, and I usually use Asiago, mozzarella, and Fontina for this recipe. Today I'm being lazy and using bag cheese. I'm going to start the process. I have some regular water boiling here. I'm going to blanch my spinach. Basically, you just want to cook the spinach a little bit so that it's not so raw when you stuff the chicken. You need a pot of boiling water and a bowl of ice water. Put the spinach into the boiling water. Let it sit for barely a minute in the boiling water. You basically just want the spinach to wilt a little bit. Once you get to that point, you take it out, drop it right in the ice water. The ice water shocks it and stops it from cooking. Next, I have a pan here. I'm adding some olive oil to the pan. I have it on a high heat to get the heat up, and I'm going to turn it down. As I was saying, I have the heat on high right now just to get the oil hot and get the pan hot, but I'm going to take it down to a low. That's the onion we're putting in to get it caramelized. Onions are in, they're starting to cook. I'm going to turn that down to low so we don't cook them too fast. We want them to cook slow. My spinach is done. All my ice is melted, so I don't need this. I'm going to go ahead and drain the spinach. You don't want a bunch of water in your spinach, so I'm just going to take the spinach and squeeze the water out of it. A disclaimer: while I squeeze my spinach for this recipe, I'm rushing a little bit because I have to go to a tasting that I'm kind of late for. So, yeah. So I'm rushing through some of it. Some of the ingredients I'm rushing through and not really explaining them, but I will do that later, promise. And I'll list all the ingredients used for this recipe. It's really easy. So I did 2 really good handfuls of spinach, and it shrivels up a lot, the spinach. That's what it does. We're going to take these and chop it up, but I assure you. So, in the pan, like I said, we were caramelizing the onions. Remember, we were doing that. We let that go nice and slow until the onions get really soft and start to change color a little bit. About halfway through, I added the garlic to cook that nice and slow as well, and it looks good. It smells amazing. We're going to mix it with the spinach. So, in this bowl, we have the spinach, the caramelized onions, the garlic, the cheese. We're going to add more Parmesan cheese in there as well, and some seasoning. This is one of my favorite seasonings that I use. It's just a really good blend of some of your core herbs and spices that you need in food, and it works well with everything. Not just steak. I use it on chicken. I use it on burgers. I use it on a lot of stuff. Anyway, mix together your spinach mixture and get that ready. This is going to be what we. So we got our chicken breast here, and I have a very small paring knife that we're going to use. Essentially, what we're going to do is just cut a slit in the side of the chicken, a small one, and take the knife through the slit and cut a big pocket in the chicken. But you want a small hole is what you are looking to have, even though you want a big pocket. I can't really do it and snap, so I'm going to do it and kind of show you what happens afterwards. Well, I'll try. So see, I cut into the chicken, into the side. You just want that one slit, and we're going to take the knife and kind of just go cut into it around. So I finished cutting the chicken. You can see the pocket there, and I have space in the front, space in the back of the chicken breast to stuff it, and I cut it in the middle. I didn't cut through it. So the chicken breast is stuffed. You can see all the stuffing is in there. You can see how fat it looks now. And I put all of that in there. You want to stuff it with as much as possible. Pardon my nasaliness. I have a small sinus infection or something, I believe. I'm going to go to the doctor and get that shit corrected soon because I sound like Urkel. Alright, we got the chicken breast in our baking dish. I rub the chicken breast with olive oil and finish it off with some more of the Montreal steak seasoning that I showed you earlier. It's going into 385. Times will vary for cooking because you may not have as big of a chicken breast as me, as I. Who am me to say? Anyway, for chicken, you want your chicken to reach an internal temperature of 165 degrees. I do 170 just to be safe, but it's good to invest in a thermometer so you can check the temperature. That's how you get really juicy chicken. Black people tend to cook the fuck out of chicken, and that's why it comes out dry. Chicken breast goes dry